Hi K12s. So today for math, we are going to be doing an activity where we learn about our heart rate. If you were able to watch the brain pop video, then you saw a little bit about how our heart is a muscle and we have to take care of it, just like we take care of these muscles and we do different exercises to build up the strength in our leg muscles. We also have exercises that help build up the strength in our heart muscle. Running, biking, swimming, there's tons of activities that build the strength in your heart muscle. And how the heart muscle works is that it sends blood out from the heart all around the body and then brings it back. And the stronger your heart is, the fewer pumps it takes to get blood, or the slower your pumps need to be to get blood all the way around your body and back. So, for people, for kids your age, you want your heart rate to be between 60 and 100 beats per minute. As you get older, it can start to be a little bit lower too. And so, what we're going to do is I'm going to go over how you find your heart rate. So there's kind of 3 different ways that you can do this. You want to make sure that you can feel your heart beating. So first start by just putting your hand on your chest and close your eyes. And if you're quiet, you can feel your heart. Bum 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 bum. Each one of those bum bums is 1 beat. So if it goes bum 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 bum, that's 3. You can feel it here. I like to feel mine underneath my chin, underneath my jaw. Again, you want to be really quiet to feel it. You might have to move your hands around, maybe ask a grown-up to help you. And you want to make sure that you can really feel it strong. Mine's kind of in between my throat and underneath my ear. I can feel it. You can also feel it on your wrist sometimes. That one for me is a little bit harder, but maybe for you it's easier. So you want to make sure that you are able to feel your heartbeat, because it's important that for counting them that you can really feel it and that you're being really honest. So you're going to test your heart rate after a couple of different activities. First, you're going to find what's called your resting heart rate. So for this, you want to be really quiet, maybe go into a dark room and lay down, maybe do some breathing, some roller coaster breathing where you breathe in and out, in as your finger moves up and out. And maybe you want to do that over each one of your fingers or another mindfulness practice that you have. But you want to get really calm and relaxed for at least a minute. And then you're going to test your heart rate then. Another time that you're going to test it is after doing activity. Maybe you jump on a trampoline, or you do jumping jacks, or you run around outside, or you go ride your bike. Whatever you do for your activities, you want to do it for at least 5 minutes. And that's just so that you can really get your blood flowing as if it's real exercise, so that your heart rate, so that you can feel if it changes. So the first thing that we're going to do is relax for a minute. And so I'm going to sit here, I'm doing my breathing, and I'm not going to make you watch me for the entire minute, but you would go and do that. And then this is where you need a partner. So I'm going to ask my husband, Chris, to time me for 6 seconds. And while he's doing that, he'll stay quiet and I'm going to be feeling my heart rate, so that, and then I can note how many beats I feel in 6 seconds. So I'll say when I'm ready, and then he'll say, on your mark, get set, go. And that's when I'll start counting. And then he'll say stop, and I have to stop counting then. So I'll tell you when I'm ready, when I can feel my heartbeat. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, on your mark, get set, go. All right, stop.
Okay, and I felt 5 heartbeats. So I made a chart. That has it has 3 columns, one for the activity, one for how many heartbeats I feel in 6 seconds, and then one for how many that would mean I have in 60 seconds or 1 minute. So my activity, I wrote down that I was resting. I had 5 heartbeats in 6 seconds, and then you're going to add a 0 to that. So a 5 turns into 50, and that tells me how many heartbeats I would have for 1 minute. And when we do heart rate, we do it in terms of a minute. So mine would be 50 beats a minute, and that would be my resting heart rate. And then I would go out and I would do 5 minutes. Maybe I'd run around my block a couple of times, or I would do jumping jacks and push-ups and high knees and a bunch of other activities that Chris has taught me. Chris has taught me. And then I would come back, and right after I finished with that 5 minutes, I would ask my husband, Chris, to time me again, just like he did before, and I would make note of what my heart rate is then. As you exercise, your heart rate tends to go up. So that's a way to check to see if you're counting correctly, and maybe ask a grown-up to help you count. Typically your heart rate will go up as you exercise because your heart's working faster to get blood out and around to your body. Some math challenges that you can do once you fill in a chart and you have at least 3 heart rates listed, one for resting, one for activity 1, and then one for another activity you do. You can add all of your heart rates together. You can find the difference between your heart rates. So if my resting heart rate is 50 and after running around it's 70, I want to know what's the space between, or what's the difference between 50 and 70. And you can figure that out. You can also talk to a friend and see what their heart rates were, or you can ask a family member to do it. And then finally, I'm going to challenge you all to think about strategies that you can do to get your heart rate to come back down. So, like I mentioned, your heart rate goes up when you exercise. It also goes up when you're feeling anxious or frustrated or mad. As you go from the green zone of being calm, cool, and collected into the yellow and red zone, your heart rate goes up. So doing things like roller coaster breathing or other mindfulness strategies can help bring your heart rate down and help settle you. So I'm going to challenge you to think of a strategy that you have to bring your heart rate down and to share it with a friend. You can share it with someone else in your house, or someone in your class, or someone along the hallway or in your neighborhood. But just share that strategy because it might help them someday too. And anytime that you're feeling frustrated or anything, you can always feel your heart rate and think, oh, it feels really fast right now. Maybe I need to try out a mindfulness strategy to bring my heart rate back down. Okay, thanks. Good luck, mathematicians.